Hey everyone, so welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you this tutorial on how to make a bralette like this. I did post like a little mini video on Instagram and Facebook, and I got a lot of hits saying that they'd like a tutorial on how to make this. So here I am giving you a tutorial. So this is part one of the tutorial, and this is how to drape your pattern on a dress form. This is a three-piece cup, so I'm going to show you how I drafted that. I personally am a 36F. I can never find anything like this in the store ever. There's nothing that can fit me in the store, honestly, that I found that will fit my smaller part of my body plus my boobs. So I wanted to make it on my own and see if I could, and surprisingly the first time I tried it was not hard at all. So hopefully I can give you guys the steps on how to achieve this so that you can make your own if it's difficult for you to find something in the store like it is for me. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a bra that fits you well. Not a bra that gives you a muffin top or you have some boobs hanging out the side. You need a bra that fits your boobs very well. You'll need some batting or any spare scrap fabric that you have. This will be used to stuff your cups. You're going to need some muslin or any non-stretch fabric. I just have like a bunch of muslin. I buy it by bulk, so I use muslin. You'll need some pins, self-explanatory. You'll need a pin to mark on your fabric. You'll need 3 different color Sharpies. This will help you identify which piece of the bra pattern you're working with. You're going to need a wire. This size wire is a 48. I am a 36F, so this 48 fits me perfectly. Honestly, I probably can size it up to a 50 if I wanted to, but 48 was fine. It fits my breast fine, so I was alright with 48. But if you want, this is tighter on my boobs, which is how I would like for my bralette to fit. But if you just kind of want like a natural sitting bra, you should get your true size, which is 50 if you're a 36F. There are many size charts on the internet on how to find what size wire you are. So I would suggest you just really measure yourself. Don't take your Victoria's Secret measurements because those are not the truth. In Victoria's Secret, they say I'm a 36 triple D, but I actually measured myself with a measuring tape, and I am a 36F. So my suggestion would be to find a manual online that shows you how to measure your own self and measure yourself to get your true bust size. You'll need some good scissors. You'll need a measuring tape. You'll need some wire channeling. You don't necessarily have to have actual wire channeling. You can make your own, but I just bought it because I just didn't feel like dealing with it, so you'll need wire channeling. You'll want a mannequin that fits you true to size, and if you can't find that, then find something that has at least your rib cage area close to the measurement of your rib cage. Alright, now that you've gathered your materials, the first measurement you want to take is the measurement around your rib cage area under your bust. So you want to take the measurement directly under your bust. For me, that is 34 inches, and on this mannequin that is also 34 inches. So that is why I chose this mannequin, because this area is true to my size around my rib cage. So I put my bra on the mannequin, and the bra is just a little a little too big for the mannequin, so obviously my boobs are bigger than the mannequin's boobs. So what you want to do, for the sake of this video, I put the bra on the mannequin so I can show you where you'll need to measure. So first you want to measure from the bottom, so the middle of your cup area, all the way to the top of your bust where the bra is. If you want more coverage, then just measure to where you want your coverage, where you want your bra to end on your bust area. I measured maybe like a half an inch above this bra. So I took it from the edge, the bottom of your wire, all the way up to the top. Now I know I measured 9 inches because I took the measurement multiple times. So I know that I'm going to need to pad this area. You also want to take the measurement from the end of your cup here and go all the way around to where your wire ends. For me, that is actually 11.5 inches, so I know for facts that these boobs are too little. Just to reiterate, you want to measure around the bottom of your bust area, around your rib cage. You want to measure from the bottom in the middle of your wire. You want to measure from the bottom of your wire all the way up to the top where you want your bra to end. You want to make sure it's the measuring tape is vertical up your body. So for me, that's 9 inches. And then you want to measure from this end of your wire all the way around to the end of the other side of the wire here. Alright, so next, you don't have to mark this on your bra like I did, like a dummy. But you want to make sure you measure from the bottom all the way up to where your apex of your boob is. So you want to measure, you know that your entire vertical length of your boob is 9 inches, or mine is. So I want to measure from my cup all the way up to where I think my middle of my boob is, which is around 5 inches. Next, you want to pad your bra. So you want to get your bra area the same cup size as your actual boob in your bra. So this, as you can see, is very small. It's nowhere near my boob. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stuff batting. I also have some spare fabric. So and you want to just keep doing that till you get your actual size of your boob. So what I'm going to do is remeasure this, because I know this across needs to be 11.5. Bam! On the first try, baby. 11.5. So let's make sure this top part is also 9 inches. Bam. First try. 9 inches. So this is where I want my bra to end. So I'm going to pin it down. So as I said before, I am going to be doing a 3-piece bra cup, because I don't know, I just like those better than the two-piece bra cups. I feel like those don't really shape my boobs as well because my boobs are so much larger. So I like to do 3-piece bra. I like to do a 3-piece bra. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to draft the top part. So if I can show you here. So if you can, hopefully you guys can see what this looks like. The 3 different pieces. So you see there's a top piece and there's 2 side pieces. And it ends where my little bust area is. So what we're going to do is we're going to draft these 3 pieces first. Alright. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your wire isn't shorter or longer than your actual bra. So you want to compare. So I'm going to start my wire here and bring it around on my bra. And as you guys can see here, this wire is a little bit longer than this cup. So what I am going to do on my mannequin, I'm going to mark where my wire ends so that I know when I am drafting my cups. So here my wire ends right there. So I'm just going to put like a little dot there so that I'll know that that's where my real wire for this particular bra is going to end. Then next you want to get your muslin. I have a bunch of like scrap muslin, so that's what I'll be using. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull it taut over where the line of the bra is going to be. So this line is going to end, the top part of the bra cup pattern is going to end roughly around here, and it's going to start about there. So it's going to go around the bust area all the way to about right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this muslin and I'm going to put it on my mannequin and pull it taut around that area and pin it. Alright. So now you just want to pin this down. Now I would say that the top of your cup does not have to be super tight. Simply because I specifically use elastic at the top of my cup, as you can see here, which will then kind of pull that taut for you. You can see the top of the cup is elasticy. So it doesn't have to be super tight at the top, but it does need to fit the curve of your bra in the middle. So that's why you want to pull it taut there. And then next what you want to do is you want to just kind of pin it down in some areas. And you want to find where your apex is, because that is where your bra is going to pass through. So you want to take a marker or a pen and you want to mark where it starts. So roughly about right here, I'm going to mark where my wire is. Y'all, my hair is jacked up. Please don't judge me. Trying not to get my hair in this camera, but look. So this is where my wire is. I'm going to mark that like that. And this is where the cup is going to start. And then over here, if you look, you want your cup to end roughly about where I pinned it. So you want it to end around here. So what you want to do is draw where your apex is right there. So then you want to just connect these lines. So you want to go to just draw your cup. Now remember that my wire is a little bit longer than this actual wire. So that means your cup may be, you're going to have to start curving. Instead of curving down where your actual bra is, you're going to have to curve it so that it meets where your wire is. Which is like this. Just going to draw a curve here. So this is what my true curve will look like that. I can't draw a straight line today. I have been in the yard digging holes all morning, so I am like, my arms are exhausted. So I'm sorry if these lines are looking a little crazy, but keeping these arms up right now is torture. Alright, so we've roughly drawn the top part of our cup here. So now what you want to do is you want to cut it with some allowance. Take this. I'm going to leave this curve here so that I can know where my bra, the end of my bra should end. So I'm just going to keep that there because that is where my true mark for my underwire is. So I'm going to keep that there. So now I've cut off the extra fabric around where I drew the top part of my line, and what I'm going to do, I looked at the bottom part of my cup. So when I tried the cup on, this is not the middle of my cup. It's about right here. So I just marked it on the mannequin for you guys so you can see where this line is going to be. So it's going to connect right at the apex and go all the way down to the middle-ish of your wire. Next thing you want to do is mark it here like that. Take some more muslin and you want to just pin your fabric on that line that you drew for your top part of your cup. So just take some pins and pin it down. Okay, so I took it and I pinned it down where that line I drew was for my top cup. And what I want to do is I want to pull this It's gonna take some adjusting, y'all. Alright, so I want to pull this top at the bottom here, and I want to pin it right where that mark is, which is here. I'm going to pin that down, and I'm just going to adjust this side. As you can see, this crumpling here, you don't want that. You want to come to the top and just adjust your muslin or fabric, whatever you're using, so that it fits taut all the way. So the line is going to come down here, and you want this to fit flat right on your bra. So you just want to adjust your fabric so that it fits properly up under your bra. Now, what you want to do at this point is, you can see here, this line is not quite matching up with this one. What I want to do is mark on here where this new line is going to be, which is right here. Pin it down. So now what you want to do is you want to mark where, open it back up, and mark where that wire is. So here I drew it in very, I think you can see it there. So here I drew it, you can see it through the fabric where the wire is. So this is where your wire is going to end. You want to continue the line like that. And then you want to trace where your wire is. I've traced between where I pinned everything down. So the most important part is that this part is fitting on your boob. The rest of this hanging stuff doesn't really matter, but this part needs to be sitting right on your bust area like that. So next what you want to do is you want to remember the black dot where the apex is, and where I pinned at the bottom, you want to draw a straight line all the way down to where that. So now you have your left part of your cup and your top cup, and now all you need to do is draft this part of your cup. So you're going to do the same thing you did here, there. Once you take this off the mannequin, you can do some more, like you can even out the curves and stuff. I'm just roughly drawing where it should be, and then I'll use my hip curve to hip curve and arm curve to even out these, because as you can see, this looks a little rough right here like that. I'll use a hip curve to help even everything out, which is why I'm not really concerned about. I just want to make sure I get my key points, like where my wire ends. You want to get where your strap is. You want to get where your wire begins, and you want to get the part here as even as you can for all of the pattern pieces. Now the wiring, you can even that out, as I said before, you can even it out with a hip curve or an arm curve. So now that I've marked it, I'm going to draw my lines and cut again. So I'm just going over the line that's under the muslin because I can see through it. Sorry y'all, we are standing directly next to my furnace, so I do apologize for the noise. I'll just try to speak louder. So right now I'm just cutting off all my excess fabric. Alright, so now you have a rough draft of what your cup is going to be. As I said before, um, the top part does not have to be smooth like this because it's going to curve. It's not going to sit flat up here, which is why when you see most bras, they have this elastic at the top. That's why, to kind of contour to your boob. So the elastic will help create that contour to keep your cup together. So make sure that your lines are all straight. And then the next thing you want to do, this is where your markers come in handy. So the first time I made this bra pattern, I sewed it together wrong because I could not remember which piece. I knew what this piece was, but I wasn't sure where these two pieces went. So like I really kind of messed it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my one color and I am going to draw a line like this, right? So I know that that is purple. I'm going to draw a line like this too, so that I know this purple goes with that purple. And I'm going to draw a line here, right? So I know that these two pieces, when I take them apart and I sew them back together again, I know that the purple goes with the purple, the red goes with the red. So I'm going to do this like this. It's just my own special way of figuring out how to make sure the bra patterns are sewn together correctly. And then I'll take my last color to indicate where the wire is, like this, so that I know that if I sew it together, the blue will be with the blue, the red will be with the red, and the purple will be with the purple. That's why you need the markers. This is not a necessity, but it helped me when I was really confused. So next, what you want to do is you want to draft your cradle. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm realizing now, after recording this whole part, that I did not have my light on to record how to make this part of the bra, but hopefully it was visible. We're just going to have a little bit more better lighting for the second part of this. So what you want to do is you want to get a piece of your fabric to make your cradle. Now if you try to make your cradle like this obviously it's not going to sit right. So you can see that I made some lines here. So what I did was I just kind of placed this where I want my cradle to be, and I drew a line around where roughly where my wire is. And then what I'm going to do is to cut out space for the boob area. Like this, so that the cradle can sit under the boob and not on top, like that. And then also what you want to do, if you want it to be longer, which is not in this video, but if you want it longer, then you're going to have to adjust your cradle. But because my cradle is going to end basically where my waistline is, I don't need to adjust it for my hips or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some slits in the fabric so that the fabric can have room to stretch where the hips are on this mannequin, and it can also have some room where this the wire is. So now that I've gotten it like that, what I am going to do is pin it down. So now you have it where the wire is, and then it's sitting flat under your boob. You just want to pin it, pin, pin, pin. The most important part of this is to, one, make sure that it is sitting flat where your wire is, and make sure it's sitting flat under your boob. The rest, you know, doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's not too small. Make sure that if your mannequin, forgot this part, if your mannequin's waist area is too small, what you want to do is take some batting and just kind of pat it until the waist or the body of the mannequin measures to your actual body measurements. But this mannequin fits me well. It's just that the bust does not. So I had to pat the bust. But if your mannequin, let's say you got a mannequin that's too small, you need to pat your mannequin up under your bust area first, so that under your rib cage area measures what your rib cage area is on your body. That way your rib cage fits you well, just like your cup does, because you pat it. So you want to make sure that your cradle is where your wire starts. That's one. And you also want to make sure that it's flat around your wire. And you want to make sure that it's pulled taut and flat around the bottom area of your wire. Basically where your cradle is, you want to make sure that is flat. Okay, so once you do that, then you just kind of look where your wire is, where you've marked your wire, and you just want to draw that on your cradle. So that's what my cradle in the front will look like. And then your last part, you want to continue your cradle to the back. All right. So there you have it. You have your bralette. My suggested next step would be to take this off of your dress form and cut out another piece for your left side, sew it together and try it on, just to ensure that it fits you properly. When I tried on my bralette before, when I made it the first time, I did have to adjust how my wire sat on my cradle. I had to bring this down a little bit, but it just all basically depends on your own body and your own preference of how you want your bralette to fit. So these are your pieces. My suggestion would be your bust should already fit you. I did not have to do any adjusting for the bust when I made my bralette the first time, because again, I took my measurements very carefully and I made sure this bralette followed the measurements that I took from the beginning. So my cup fit me perfectly. I just had to adjust some things on my cradle. And also, I made my cradle pretty wide the first time, which is why I'm making it very small on this time around. And my suggestion would be to make it small, because especially if you have larger boobs, if you need something to help keep your boobs pushed together, natural boobs generally just don't sit up by themselves. They need a little bit of help. So the cradle here, with the wiring being so close, it'll help your cleavage to sit closer. Some people that I saw on Pinterest and online made their cradle wider, and then it had like a really big space between their boobs. That's not something that I would prefer, but if that's something that you want, by all means make this wider. But if you want something to give you more cleavage or make your boobs sit up a little bit more, my suggestion would be to make this part of your cradle the part where you're, sorry, I have people upstairs watching the game, so you'll hear screaming from time to time. You will want your cradle to the middle part of your cradle where your wire is in between your breasts. You will want that to actually be a little bit smaller like that. So that's how you draft your first pattern. And again, my suggestion would be to take this off, cut another piece, sew it together, and try it on. I would also suggest that you sew your casting onto there, sew your channeling onto your pattern, and put your wire in there just to make sure everything fits perfectly. Again, I did not have to change anything with my cup based on what I drafted the first time. The only thing I had to change was how my cradle fit my body, how short I wanted it. So hopefully this helps you, and I am going to make a part 2 of how you actually take this pattern and make your bralette top. I am waiting for my fabric to come, because I used all of my lace fabric for the bralettes that I've already made. So I am going to wait for that to come. And next week I'll come back with a tutorial on how to make your actual lace bralette. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.